Welcome to another episode of Taekwondo. I hear myself a little bit with a small delay, so I'll remove this one for now. But really appreciate you for being here and looking forward to talking to you about what happened today. It was a fantastic second day at the vMix booth. We had a fantastic vibe going on there. It's really turning into a really interesting setup every time again. A lot of use cases that I've never heard of and I've never thought of came to our booth, and we were discussing things, what you can do, maybe alternatives, etc. And it was extremely cool. Now that being said, I also love to roam the areas because you're here at IBC. It makes also perfect sense to just network and to talk to people and that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about definitely. But before I do that, I will just quickly say hi to some people. At least Vil is in the house. Hi for all indeed. Again, like I said earlier in this week, is that it's all over the place. I cannot really fine-tune exactly when I will go live, but we'll go talk about what we can do later in the week, because we're going to talk about that later. Anyway, live streaming with the yellow box, that is indeed the case. Like I already said a few times, these reports are all done with the yellow box. I want to understand how this device is working, what you can do with it, and I'm really learning it. So I make mistakes at the moment, and I think that is also maybe something to really talk about, because there is a place for yellow box. I know that from now on already, so I know that it's a really nice product, but for certain scenarios, not all scenarios. So I most likely will also use vMix more often than I was hoping with the yellow box, because this is a little bit more condensed, but really vMix is for me way easier to understand. It also has more features that makes it possible to make professional graded video and audio. And this is a little bit like, yeah, we want to do a lot in there, but we still have some issues. But don't get it wrong, it's definitely a good product for certain scenarios, and now we're going to talk about that. Maybe not today, but definitely on Saturday. I would really want to talk about what I think about this product. It is not negative, it's really a positive vibe, I have to tell you, but there are some interesting caveats that we really need to talk about, because I don't want you to go out and get a yellow box because it's a cool gadget. You really want to have something in your head, which is great. Phil says PTZ announced new stuff at IBC. Yes, we will definitely going to talk about it even today in this Taekwondo, in this daily report, IBC Daily Report episode 2. Tomorrow we will not have a daily report due to the fact that we have a really cool thing that we're going to do in the evening. I just want to be with the boys and girls of X-Keys and vMix, etc., so that we have a cool time together. But so tomorrow there will not be a stream, but I will definitely go live on either Monday evening or on Tuesday evening, and let's just say it's going to be Tuesday evening, because I know that I can do that. And Monday is a little bit of an awkward thing. So today and then Tuesday I'm back for another report that will be the last report, and then we have on Saturday a normal Taekwondo from a studio in where I typically sit. Anyway, I do like to know what you guys think about the quality. Do you see some dropped frames, for example? Because if I look here on my device, it literally says I'm pushing 3 megabits per second, 30 frames per second. Sorry, 3 megabits per second, 30 frames per second, 0 drops. And I have already been live for 7 minutes, it states. So it looks good on my end, but I'm really looking forward to hear from you. Now, you will hear today 2 interviews that I did. I know that the audio is not perfect. It's quite difficult with those small DJI microphones to really have a good volume. Either it's too loud or it's too low. I hope that you will forgive me for that, because it's about the content, but I know that typically audio should be okay, but this time it's a little bit of a problem. So bear with me with that. The first up that we're going to talk about is Skaarhoj. Skaarhoj is a really, oh, I didn't prepare that one, I see. Uh-oh. Okay, Skaarhoj will be done. I thought that I did that. That's awkward. I need to prepare that one at a later stage. But then let's just do the PTZOptics one today, and you will have Skaarhoj. Promise you that one will come on Tuesday, and I will also talk about what I think about IBC 2022 from my perspective from that area. So not Skaarhoj today. It's by itself already 10 minutes. I can tell you that up front. So I have already created it, but for some reason it's not on the SD card. So I'll have to do that again. But what is on the card is, of course, PTZOptics. And again, please forgive me for the volume changes, but I'll do my best to help you with that. So let's go. Finally, we see you in real life, and I saw a stream yesterday. I was blown away. Is it that thing right there?
This is it. Yeah. So we were. This is the brand new PTZOptics Studio Pro, and we're gonna try to get one for your channel because it's really great for people who make videos in a studio. Yeah. It has a built-in light, so we have the ability to change the color of the light temperature.
Oh, I'm a little bit closer. Yes, it's
viewable. It goes up and down. Now this light is powered by the camera. Oh, so the camera can be plugged into USB, and then the USB will power the camera and the light. So it's all in one. Nice, simple. It also has NDI, and NDI is really good for video over the network. Yeah. It has PoE. But we can also switch it from 16:9, which everyone knows and loves, to 9:16, which is the vertical video.
No!
I think it's going to be really fun. I think a lot of people are going to like that. I mean, think about it. Even if you have a studio and you just have a TV, you turn it sideways, you plug it in, and people just catches their eye. Oh, what is that? Oh, wow. I think it's the future.
I think that everybody by now knows Instagram and TikTok. Yes. To be honest, like a year or two ago, it's like, I'm not going to go in that space. I have virtual video syndrome. I don't like it. Yeah. But now I have to admit, I like it. It's really getting interesting. A lot of content is coming out. Yeah. What kind of, you say it's creators, but are there any other?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, 9:16 is slowly becoming adopted by lots of, like, YouTube supports it, obviously, Facebook, TikTok is a big one, but you have to use a smartphone right now. But, I mean, every brand and business that you talk to, it's like, okay, I know you're creating 16:9 video. What are you doing for 9:16? And honestly, a lot of brands, they have to use TikTok. If you're a major brand or a business, you have to be on Instagram and these things. And so you're expected to create professional, high-quality vertical video, but yet most companies don't even own a camera that can do that yet.
Crazy.
So, I mean, I think it's very much a growing space. I am very excited in my own studio to do multi-camera 9:16 video. I think that's going to be so cool. Now, I know that OBS you can set up in 9:16, and you can bring in multiple NDI cameras and do a multi-camera 9x. I think that would be really fun. So I'm excited to see.
Yeah, maybe others will follow.
Yeah, right. I know that OBS can do it, so I'm thinking maybe some other software like vMix and Wirecast will probably bring that out too.
They should. Oh, but I really like the design. I really like, what is that red thing right there? What does that do?
That's just a power indication light.
Oh.
But it has a really super fast focus. It's called time of flight.
Time of flight?
Yes, it's super fast. It's just the time that it takes it to bounce off whatever it's going to focus in on, and then boom, you can see how crisp it is. So I could be all the way over here, or back here. It's going to focus in. So if you are a live streamer or a content creator, a lot of times you take a product up and show it on the camera.
Right.
So it's going to switch the focus quickly from what would be the product back to the person that's on.
Awesome. That is a fantastic feature, especially for YouTubers like me that I want to show a camera or something. Bam, it's in focus. Awesome. Who came up with that name?
Studio Pro. It was Tess.
It's Tess.
Tess can get credit for that one. Yeah, she did really well.
Love it. I'm sure that people cannot see it, but if I look at that screen right there,
yes,
it is crisp.
Yes, it is 1080p 60, but it's the optical lens that everybody wants. And it's when you get that really good quality optical lens and a light, for most streamers, it's a major step up. So if you have a Logitech webcam or any of the regular webcams out there, if you upgrade to something like this, you are going to see a massive difference in the video quality. And so many people, whether you're a doctor, a consultant, you just want to look good on video. You don't want to worry about all the connections. Maybe you don't even know what NDI is.
Yeah.
I just want to look good on my Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
That's what this is for. And then, of course, content creators.
Yeah, I saw how easy it is to flip to 9:16.
Yeah.
It's just a flip of a switch, right?
It is.
It's crazy.
It is. I mean, it's a new world. I think one of the things creators like you and I are thinking about is, okay, we know how to do 16:9. We know how to do widescreen video.
Yeah, exactly.
At what point do we start creating 9:16 videos? Is it when we're done? Is it in post-production? Is it live? What is it? And we're all starting to learn that now. I think that in some cases you can do both at the same time. You can take a 4K image and then have the middle be 16:9 or 9:16. But I also think that there's a big market for just taking a moment out of your day and shooting some really good 9:16 vertical video. Maybe call it a product shot or a product video. And it's also, the key is short form.
Absolutely.
Less than 60 seconds. The data is out there. Short form video and vertical video are really the future.
You should watch Peter McKinnon. He had a video on that one.
Oh yeah, we gotta check that out.
Fantastic. Any other things that you have to show us?
So we have the brand new 4K Move 4K PTZOptics cameras. So these are our brand new 4K ones.
Yeah.
This is the Move 4K and then the Move 4K Pro. Our 4K cameras allow us to, really do some high-end productions. A lot of people are moving to 4K. 4K is not only good for TVs and live streams and productions, but it's also good for post-production, where you have that extra flexibility. Even if you're doing a 1080p project, you have a little digital zoom capability.
Yeah.
The files are bigger.
Absolutely.
Right? So it is something to consider. This is more of a professional situation, but there's a lot of professionals that are really looking for PTZ cameras right now.
Yeah, and a few of my, a lot of my viewers actually also produce events.
Yes.
So these cameras are really good for that, especially if you want to also record them on 4K. And you can still stream them in HD if you like, right? It's no problem.
Oh yeah, you can still stream in HD, and then of course we have our PTZOptics Super Joy here.
Yeah.
So this is how you control the camera, essentially, and you have the ability to pan, tilt, and zoom.
Yeah.
With this joystick. It also has custom buttons so that you can send a custom command to control lighting software, all kinds of different, it is, you can do HTTP and I think Visca commands too.
Well, yeah, it does. It does. I know that. And NDI commands as well.
Yes, and that's a good point. So it does have NDI built in. So I've done like 20 videos today, so I'm like, it does have that. But yes, it does support NDI, which is part of why we're here at the Grass Valley booth. Maybe we should mention that. So we're here at the Grass Valley booth. Grass Valley is like the highest end video production solution. They're known for, it's like, what do they do? What don't they do?
Exactly.
They do everything. And you can actually walk around this booth and see start to finish what the NFL or the highest end video productions are thinking about. Yeah. How do we capture? How do we manage? How do we process? How do we orchestrate all of this? And I just walked around. You should do a video on it.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
Just to see what the really big professionals are doing. And then, of course, we're used to using vMix and kind of do-it-yourselfers, home studios.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Well, I have to admit, and I already told you earlier today, is that I love this camera for my studio.
Yes.
Absolutely love this camera for my studio, but for my events, I really like the new one.
Yeah.
This camera that you see right here is, the picture is, I cannot even show it to you on Facebook or on YouTube. That's just not possible, but it's so crisp, unbelievably. It's like HDR. It's so good.
It looks great, and we're really excited about it. I'm going to be creating some comparison video footage. So, you know, a lot of our customers have the older Gen 2 models.
Yeah.
So I would like to kind of have a video on YouTube that says, here's what the Gen 2 looks like, here's what the 4K Pro. These literally just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting my hands on them now. So hopefully I'll make some test footage soon.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. So that was PTZOptics. Very good. And really a very interesting set lineup that they have. I like actually all three cameras, although I think that the new one, the 4K one it was really sharp. I was extremely impressed. I'm not saying that lightly. I really mean that. And the other product that is really aimed towards vertical video and the creative part, that was actually also interesting. And I think that this is a flipping point for that company, for PTZOptics. They actually went from, I would say, a enterprise first to a more creative first, which is quite interesting. It's a totally different camera for their market. So that is interesting. I did see, so in the meantime, I have good news. I can show you Skaarhoj. I'm actually running it directly from my iPad in just a bit. So it's a little bit different than the previous ones. But I am really looking. That's the reason why it went wrong the last time. And now I know. Okay, so we have Skaarhoj ready to show, and the reason why it's flipping is that I'm wanting to delete the previous video, and once I delete it, it will automatically go to the one that is active. That is not what we want, obviously. So it's a bug, I would state, in the YOLO box. Anyway. Veal had a question. Veal says, the Studio Pro camera fixed lens, is it like 24 millimeters of f1.9, no optical zoom, I guess? Well, to be honest, I have here the product information. So the Studio Pro has a 1080p HD image. It has a 72.5 wide angle lens. It supports a lot of different functionalities. It has USB 3.0, 2.0 that is needed for, I believe, the light, if I'm not mistaken. LAN with PoE support. HDMI is on that as well. There's even a mic in. So there's a lot of functionality there. And if I look at the lens, then I'm reading it. That's the reason why I'm looking down. Sorry for that. The lens is a 2.8. What is it? Sensor. Sensor is 2.8 inch sensor. 1920 by 1080, 60 frames per second, 12 times optical zoom and 60 times digital zoom. Let me see, 0.5 lux is the minimum illumination that it can work with. And yeah, that's roughly it. It supports a lot of different file formats on the USB, H.264, H.265, JPEG, Y2, and more and more and more. So it's quite an interesting camera, I have to tell you. So that is the one that actually is quite interesting, but that is more for the creative mindset. Mark says, I have been drooling over the Sony PTZ FR7 for over an hour yesterday. Mark, I am totally with you. I love that thing really a lot as well. But Mark, I have to tell you that even though there's no denial, the Sony PTZ FR7 is definitely better than the PTZOptics one. I'm 100% on board with that. But looking at the price difference, I do think that the PTZOptics one, the new one, Not the studio, but the other one, the 4K one. It's actually not that bad. It's really a good quality. I could tell you. All right. In the meantime, my iPad was going to sleep, but I have it back. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I will show you the interview that I did with Casper from Skaarhoj, and I'm going to do that directly from the iPad. So that's a little bit like a bit shocking if it works, yes or no. But let's try it anyway. I'm hopefully making sure that the audio is open. Let me see if the audio is open here, because of course I don't want to make mistakes. So I'm going to put this one on, and let's go. Okay, we're here at Skaarhoj, and we're indeed with Casper, the owner and the initiator of Skaarhoj.
True.
So tell me a little bit about the company. How did you come to create these cool items, these cool controllers?
Well, I think I started like many of you guys did by following a passion for doing video, and I was so lucky to be employed in university where I did e-learning and I did lecture capture. And as I'm also an engineer myself, I took out my soldering iron and I started to put electronics together because I wanted buttons to control switcher systems and so on. And then it became like, well, maybe somebody will buy these things, and I just threw it on PayPal, and actually somebody did. And slowly it has been growing into a business that I really love. And the funny thing is, I found a childhood picture a few years ago where I saw myself sitting with cardboard boxes where I had drawn pictures of screens and knobs and everything. So I suddenly realized, wow, this has kind of been in my genes almost. Like from the beginning of my life, I was actually envisioning myself, doing panels and these kind of things. And here I am, I'm kind of living the dream. So that's really, really cool.
If you look at the creation of a panel in general terms, what goes into it to design it?
I think two things. First of all, I have learned over the years that you need to have a specific target in mind. So we make a panel for PTZ control, we make one for switching control, where we think in the functionality of what a guy that does video switching needs. He has that cut and auto button and the fader and the T-bar, and for the PTZ control, obviously there has to be a joystick and things has to be arranged in certain ways. So you need to think about those use cases, then you'll be most successful. But at the same time, if you look at Skaarhoj's vision, we also want to integrate. So you find that some of our products are kind of a little bit both the one and the other, and in itself they don't make sense, but they make a lot of sense when they are connected to something else. And I would say the Mega Panel is a good example, because on the Mega Panel you find a controller we call MKA48, which is just buttons. But if you see it out of the context of the Mega Panel, it makes no sense. But when you put it into a Mega Panel, it makes totally sense, because it's connected to a transition block that provides the whole context for why you're building this kind of panel. So this is how, even though we have a ton of products, you may think, so don't they limit themselves? But the thing is that we're actually tweaking quite a lot, trying to make sure that every single product has a specific use case that makes sense. I love designing, but I also need to limit, even though it can be difficult to see, but we are doing it, and there's a rationale behind every single product we have.
Can you show me a few that you're very proud of at the moment?
Yes, I can. Let's just move around a little bit then. I think the new Master Key 1 is a really awesome product in terms of a redesign from a previous version. This is version 2. The T-bar here is an amazing component that we have developed that I have never seen anybody make a transition position fader like the display we have here along with the T-bar. It also have an LED in the handle, so this is really a very, very nice component. So you see, I'm also passionate about the component design we are doing, and that T-bar is also found in the Airfly Pro. We have like a bigger brother of that over in the Mega Panel here. And by the way, this is where I was talking about the MK48. Isolated, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but in the context, it makes a lot of sense, right? We have the same over here. Look at this pretty nice PTZ controller. Actually, just look at this one. That's the PTZ controller in itself. It has something super cool, by the way, which are these what do we call it, visual presets. If I press and hold to store preset, you see it records the thumbnail of my position. So if I move away on the screen and I want to record that preset, I get that back when I record the preset on the camera. So that's a very cool thing on this controller. But I can add this one to the side, either from the beginning or later in my process with the product. I can add this to the side, and I have a bigger, more professional PTZ controller with more buttons, more access to stuff. So you begin to see the vision that we have these small pieces, and most of them make sense in themselves, but you can snap stuff on, and then you can have something bigger, like piece it together. So that's design principles that are really super cool. I also want to show the Rcp Joystick. That is another component that is really a step up, and something we are really proud of having been able to deliver. Can I just quickly here? The Rcp Joystick is, in my opinion, the most professional and amazing joystick component that the broadcast market has seen. It has a display on top, it has push action to select the cameras, it has a ring here for adjusting the pedestal, and it also has, of course, the iris fader action on the component itself there. So that goes into the Rcp Pro. So that's one thing that I'm also really excited about. I like the waveboard faders also. So over here we have all the devices. We were very close just a moment ago. This is the waveboard, a fader board with faders that, let me see if we can have, it would have VU metering here if I had a channel that, there's a little bit of audio down there, or maybe that's just noise, but that's actually VU metering happening right here. So we have very precise VU metering on this vertically oriented display, yet still you have a little label that shows that this mute button is on and off. And up here I can adjust solo on and off on this one, and this one would be gain. So using the two-way buttons, by pressing the edges of the button, I can adjust those values. This is balance in this case for each channel, and that is now laid out on 8 channels. That is managed by our new software application called Reactor, where you can basically just drag and drop and rearrange the channels in the software really easily.
And is that the blue pill?
It's the blue pill, yes. So, you'll see a lot of talk about blue pills from Skaarhoj, and that's a funny thing in itself. The blue pill is over here, and the blue pill as a standalone product it's actually a little server that gives you the software reactor that has been developed for the blue pill, and this one is currently powering these 3 devices. So they are all connected to this one, and this one is the one that talks to the switches and the cameras and everything, and just basically drives these 3 units. But you also see that there are a lot of blue pill inside logos, because the power of the blue pill platform, the eventual goal seems to be, it's kind of obvious if you look at our booth, that we are moving into a direction where we want to give you the blue pill power in each Skaarhoj product, so that you don't have the external blue pill necessarily, but you have it inside the panel. And the cool thing about it is a Rack Fusion Live like this one with blue pill inside can actually drive this one next to it. So you just need one blue pill inside product, and then you have the master product of a lot of other products as well.
My viewers know that I'm a really fan of Skaarhoj. I have the PTZOptics, I've got the QuickPad, and I've been eyeing the live fly for a long time, but I'm actually waiting for the blue pill inside.
You should do that, because your PTZ Fly and sorry, what was it? PTZ Fly?
The PTZ Fly.
Yes.
And the PTZ Whiz, the QuickPad, and then the live fly.
And those would be perfectly powered by this one, just straight out of the box, basically. Let's just check out the Rack Fusion Live here, because now you're talking about it. This is Reactor for the Rack Fusion Live. And if you look at this part of the UI, I'm kind of wanting to hide away all those warnings on the side over here. But you see how Reactor works is that we have, in this case, 8 cameras connected to the Rack Fusion Live down here. And I have them here. We have JVC on the first one, PTZOptics on the next one. And that corresponds to the camera selector you see right here. We can basically change the order of these cameras by dragging them around like that. And then you see it's instantly updated down here, right? Also notice how we are picking up tally from the ATEM switcher. This is why this one is red. So that's also something that we have made really nice. Here we have some ways to say my tally information should come from an ATEM switcher system, or you can just choose a profile to get it from a vMix system, and then you would enter into the I think Tele Forwarding. This is where you can see that I'm picking it from the ATEM system. This is what it tells me right here. So if you then want to say, okay, my first camera, the PTZOptics camera, is coming from, it's actually input number 3 on the switcher, but it's my camera number 1. Then if you go into the camera selector here, you could go down to the PTZOptics line, and then you can see over here that tally index just needs to match up with the source. So we just change that to 3 if it's input number 3 on the ATEM switcher or the vMix system or whatever it is.
That's awesome.
You can even put in colors and so on. So this is what you'll get when you upgrade your infrastructure to RACfusion Live and you want to connect your PTZ Fly. So
awesome.
You get that. We also have device discovery, which is super cool. So let's say that you wanted to add a new device. You see that devices is going to pop up when the network request has been sent out. So a lot of cameras is just so easy to integrate like this. And I can also tell you that when the way you would add your PTZ Fly would be pressing this add panel button, and then we are discovering panels on our network. So these are all Skaarhoj panels. And somewhere in this mess, we'll find PTZ Fly. Oh, we did not. I don't know why. Maybe
don't
we
worry,
just need to worry.
All make mistakes.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a little while. But you see the point, it would announce itself on the network, and I just pick it and add it, and I can add configurations to it. So we have, the Blue Pill platform is much easier and super slick UI. Super powerful. We can talk to so many more things than we ever did, and it also gives you the modularity that makes sense of every single controller in new ways that maybe I never imagined. So that's kind of the message of Blue Pill.
Last question. If I have somebody that either has vMix or ATEM and they want to start with using a Skaarhoj, which device will be the best?
Well, I think
starting.
I really think RACfusion Live is a nice one because you have PTZ cameras and switching in one product. Are we only talking about what is the starting device? Switching or also cameras?
Switching and cameras, that's also fine, but I was talking about switching specifically.
I think the AirFly is a controller that is designed to give you a lot of buttons and instant access, and it also has a keypad that is designed, for instance, you order this in a vMix version, and it also comes with Blue Pill inside, so you get all that nice power of the product. So this one would be a good starting version if you are for that kind of size. If you want the flexibility of a panel with the displays in, which means that it's easily transferable to a different switcher, then the LiveFly would be a good panel. The MiniFly, actually I think LiveFly is already or will very soon be on the Blue Pill platform. I'm not sure about MiniFly, but the LiveFly is, and I definitely want to recommend you that you get the Blue Pill version for your starter panel with Skaarhoj, because this is where you see all the rock and roll going on, moving forward in our ecosystem.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, so that was Skaarhoj. Finally I could do it. Let me know if this one is better than the previous one in the sense of the video playback. Is it fluid? Yes or no? Because I got some feedback that the video was a bit choppy, and it can be because of you know, the quality of the network here. Again, I'm pushing out 3 megabits per second, 30 frames per second, 3 megabits per second indeed, 30 frames per second, 0 drops, and I'm already live for 36 minutes and 48 seconds. Yes, I'm also I'm also almost out of juice, it seems. Of course, I've been playing with this piece of gear for some time now. It looks good. Still have some things to work out, but yeah. Let me see if there are some comments before we leave for today. Oh yeah, so indeed. Yeah, so prices is indeed a thing, because who cares about that? It's just really nice to see. We can geek out at IBC. I totally understand that. I have the same thing. Don't worry. You kind of go berserk when you got your hands on a new device. Yes, price is not what you're thinking about. That's totally cool. Niels, welcome Niels, by the way. Should I ever win the lottery, I'd buy one of everything from Skaarhoj. Yes, I really like their products. I totally agree with that statement. I think that this is a very good comment by Evil. X-Keys and Skaarhoj have interesting buttons. Both of them are really cool. I'm not in favor of one or the other. They both have their place. They both are really good at what they do. On the field, I miss. Hey, that was one light that went out. Oh, let's put some light there. That was fast. On the field, I miss some small one that I can play with. I like X-Keys 8 USB because you can't put anything in the same Pelican case as the 8 Mini Extreme. I totally understand that. Totally understand that indeed. Rob is also in the house. Hey Petra, hi Takano. Hey Rob, welcome. Really appreciate it. Yes, I agree. Both of them did a great demo. PTZOptics was excellent, and also Skaarhoj really took the time to explain a lot, and I'm very happy with that. Again, a lovely interview. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Looking good. Video was played fine. Okay, cool. You're at the vMix. Oops. Rob says, are you at the vMix booth tomorrow? Yes, I will be there every day. So also tomorrow and also on Monday. The mousepads are getting a little bit out of stock, so you hurry up a little bit because it goes faster. Now I have to admit that I have been putting back a few every single day, so that we can hopefully make it until Monday, but it's getting really a slim down version of what we had on Friday morning. So be there if you can. All right, that is all that I had in store for you today. I really appreciated you for taking the time to be here. Again, this is all done by the Yellow Box. The videos, by the way, have been done just by my iPhone. But I have to do all kinds of strange things to get it on the Yellow Box. But maybe I don't have to anymore because directly on the iPad does work as well. So maybe I'm going to do that moving forward. Tomorrow will not be your daily reports due to the fact that I will have an evening off. I'm going to have some fun with the team. And on Monday, I have to travel back, so I'm not sure if I will be at home in time for a show. So I will promise you here that on Tuesday, if I'm, of course, not ill or something, but of course that's always the case. So that on Tuesday, we'll have our latest and last IBC report. And then on Saturday, I'm back for normal Taekwondo videos. So please make sure that you are also there on Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. Last question before I leave. Do you think that there will be a new version of the Stream Deck? Because there's a lot of discounts these days. I am not aware of any new Stream Deck. Maybe a new version of the same one, like they did with the original Stream Deck. They have a version 2 out there. I'm expecting that will happen, but I'm not certain about that, Rob. So yeah, we have to wait. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.